out with his cues when it's, I want to say, higher stakes or higher level of play or big field, things like that. He doesn't really want to put the cues together unless there's something decent at stake. And I can see his angle there. He's from the older school of players. And a lot of those guys definitely prefer to be in the box for some good action. I'm trying to bring up the chat right now. Guys, make sure you reshare the stream. Put it in all those pool groups. I'm doing the same. Got to get everybody out there to see the game the way that we want them to see it, which is just like this. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to have a special guest, Mr. 2.0 himself, Mike Matthew, one of the players out of Yale Billiards. See if we can get Mike on there. Just right there. All right, Mike, where are you? There?
How you doing?
You can get a little test on your microphone.
Testing.
There he is.
Hello.
Mike, how you doing out there?
I just lost.
I think some of our viewers did see that. However, I'm sure you didn't play bad. And plus, you're playing Rob Pierce. He's a monster.
Yeah, I didn't get many opportunities the first like 6 racks because I was down 5-1. Then I made it 5-4.
And yeah, I saw you actually come back 5-4. I was playing a match on table number 5.
How'd you do?
Not very good. I had a lot of mental distractions. I got a 4-0 in the match, and I lost 7-5. So how do you feel about that one?
Almost as bad as I feel about mine.
Yeah.
I missed that 6 ball there to make it hill. But what are you going to do? Rob
That's
Pierce,
all right. Hey, there's a lot of tournaments, and we're going to get to play again and again and again, and it's fine. So
I feel like the stream wasn't on when I was playing Rob, was it?
I'm not sure
because I tried looking for
but if it wasn't, it was recorded.
Okay,
so
I was going to say because
don't worry, you're
going to
be able to see
for like a good hour there.
Well, don't worry about it. I mean, we have the matches recorded. All of the matches for this tournament are recorded, so you will be able to check those out.
Awesome.
Again, don't forget, we are going to be giving away a Snookers gift card to anyone that likes Snookers Live, the Snookers Live Facebook page. And that's going to be right before the finals of this tournament tomorrow. So make sure you like and follow the Snookers Live page on Facebook. And you will be in the running.
He's going for the bank here on the 9
He's going with a combination there.
Oh.
That's a good try.
Left him tough.
Double hit it. Bink.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, just enough to slide behind it.
I don't think that 6 ball goes by.
There's a possibility. Let's check out like this. It looks like it may pass, to be honest.
It's always tough. It's always tough when you're not right where the cue ball.
right where it's at, yeah.
Oh, it did pass. Oh, that was a good shot. What do we got here? Is it 9-8-6 race? Say 8-6? Yeah.
Yes, this is an 8-6 race. Just trying to get this stream out there, let everybody know. I appreciate everyone tuning in, checking out what we got going on here. And Dominick Souza takes rack 1, takes a 1-0 lead. This is an 8-6 race.
Assuming Dominick goes to 8.
Dominick goes to 8, correct, yes. From what I understand, years ago, like he's an old school player. He played a lot in the past, and I actually think he was in Connecticut at that time. To be honest, I think he played with some of the older school players like Tommy Seminaro and those guys.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, he was pretty strong.
Yeah, someone was telling me
adversary.
earlier he was practically open speed way back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's always nice to see players from that time period getting into the game. And I say that because they bring something that newer players just can't, like, just assume and know. Like, you kind of gotta have to have the experience of that time of pool to be able to bring that stuff to the community. You know what I mean? So I'm really happy that he's out and he's out shooting. Are you familiar with Ben Savoie? You know his,
Yeah. At the tour finale in September, I played him first round in the second day, and he took me down. He's a good player.
Yeah,
he's
pretty
consistent.
Yeah,
You know, he's
right.
solid.
Yep.
You know, he always.
He's
plays.
not going to shoot way above his average or way below. He's pretty
Right.
much always going to shoot about that level.
Yeah, he's
so.
one of those guys that you can accurately handicap for the most part because
Yeah.
it's so tough because people play out of their minds sometimes, but he's always just like a solid player.
Mm-hmm. So Dominick Souza's looking to get comfortable. I don't want to say he's charging around the table, but he's comfortably power walking at a nice rate there.
What do you do with that 5 ball?
I
I don't
it may
think
actually
I don't
go
think
on
it
the
goes
side
on
now.
the side that he's on. I don't think it's frozen on the 8.
Let's see here.
I don't think there's a pocket for that ball.
Well, to be honest, with the 4 where it is, if he can get a nice angle there, he can just roll the 4 on the side and maybe clip into it.
Yeah, so he's going to try to get underneath the 4 slightly here.
I think he just,
Or he's just going to... Oh, I think he went a little far back. I can't. It's so tough to tell from here. That might actually be all right. These side
See if he's
pockets
gonna
actually
bump
aren't as tight as they seem. They play pretty forgiving.
Yeah, the sides are okay. The corners,
They
shooting
can
them
be
down.
tough, yeah.
Shooting them down the rail.
Oh, maybe it does go.
I'll tell you what, we're going to find out right now, Mr. Matthew. We are definitely going to find out in about
Looks like it does.
2.5
He's shooting
seconds.
it like it does. Oh wow, no problem.
Fit a bus
Yeah.
by the 8 ball, right?
Fit 2 5 balls by that apparently.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, what do I know? Nothing.
So you having a good time, Mike? Everything's good in your hood?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's good. Wish I had won that match, but loser side grind.
Hey, I feel the same way, Mike. You know, hey, I wish I won the match, whatever. But you know what? In hindsight, you know the things that you did incorrectly. I always say you got to make the mental note or even physically write it down, put a memo in your phone or something, and you got to look at it for the next, little time period so that you remember those things and you don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
I personally have a little mental checklist, and if I'm really trying to perform and I'm going to focus as a player, I like to look at that, just kind of go over my work and say, all right, make sure I don't do this, make sure I don't do that. Just, bad decisions I've made in the past, those are the things. And they're not like, oh, make sure you're straight on the ball and things like that. It's just, like not too much coffee, so you're not shaking, you
Yeah.
want to be awake, but if you drink too much coffee, hey.
Oh. He rushed that, Mike.
He did rush a bit there.
Let's see. Those are the mistakes I used to make a lot more than I do now. Just getting down, thinking you can't miss it, and you just 1-stroke it or 2-stroke it, and you don't.
Well, I'll say this: if you take care of the fundamental things and make it so that you know what the proper way to execute the shot is,
Yeah.
then you should pretty much be okay.
It's all about having like a steady pace. As long as you just keep a steady thing, you don't keep changing it up, shoot really fast, and then slow way too much down. If you just have a consistent, steady, way about going around the table, then
Yes, exactly.
You're right.
And just, the pre-shot routine, how are you getting down on the ball? Is this the highest percentage way to execute what I'm trying to get done here? And sometimes it's not really the decisions. It's just, hey, I can see the shot. I know you can see the shot. You get down on the ball like a champion. But when you're actually approaching the shot and trying to get the job done, are you doing that the highest percentage way, or are you lacking in one particular mechanic or one particular step that you left out and you forgot
I feel like
to use that? Or
my big problem is the consistency in my pre-shot routine, or
like if the shot seems easier,
Right.
you kind of skip certain things
Right.
and you might dog something simple,
Right.
and you're like, oh man, I definitely can make that
a
shot.
new thing I just added to my game was, which I heard this from a lot of good players, and if you guys don't do it, I'd recommend doing it. If you just made a good shot and you're shooting a key ball, or even if you're just shooting any key ball, just walk around the table, take the chalk, walk around the table, look at everything, do a nice calm walk around, and then just get down again. Or if you're down on the shot, you don't feel comfortable, get up and just walk around the table one time, do a quick little lap, and just calm yourself down. And it's been working for me. I just added that in my game the last couple months here. It seems to work out.
Yeah, that's definitely sound advice for sure.
I can't tell you how many shots it's probably helped me, or racks I've won because of it lately, just because the shots that I would miss. You're playing a high pressure shot and you get down and you're not thinking clearly because you're nervous, or you're just you don't want to think too much and you just kind of rush it. Just take a deep breath and walk around.
Yeah, that's definitely good advice, and it's good that you're able to notice those things. A lot of players where they'll hit a wall and they don't even know why.
Yeah.
And if you're able to recognize your faults and accept that they're faults, and then take the initiative to try to change those things and to better them, or to take those negative things away from your game, I mean, you're definitely going places. You're definitely going to increase, your performance for sure.
Yep. I can give credit to Mike Jackson. Are you familiar with Mike Jackson? You heard of Mike Jackson?
I've seen a little bit about what he's doing, with you guys, the Yale guys and whatnot. I'm not familiar with his game, and I'm not really familiar with those types of things. But
yeah, he's been. We play together sometimes, and he helped me with the pace thing, because he always says something to me every time I rush a shot. We play for fun. We play sets to stay sharp. And but he always just says something every time I rush or do something different. He just always mentions it to me. So now it's kind of stuck in my head at this point. So, take my time, keep a same steady pace.
Yeah, I have an amendment to that statement. And Mike, if you are tuning in, please, I hope I'm not going against your teachings here. But I find that it's okay to play at a quicker pace if that's how you want to do it. But I always say that if you want to play at a faster pace, me, for example, I like to play at a faster pace, but I found that I'll have more success if I take the long way to the shot at my pace. So it's not so much that I'm slowing down and feeling like I'm bogging my game down. I just say, hey, I can go at my rate, but I'm going to make sure I look at this line, make sure I look at that line. I'm going to walk all the way around the table, make sure I'm double checking my work, but at my pace. So right. I don't feel like I'm going slow, but I am gathering a lot more information and references for the shot at hand, and that's definitely given me some increased performance for sure.
Very good shot by Dominick there.
Absolutely, nice bank. Dominick Souza coming with the heat.
Given weight and going for that, that's pretty risky, but he's probably feeling good.
Again, that's probably a lot of that old school mentality. It's it's just another shot, and I bet you, whether he's made it or missed it, doesn't matter. But that man right there, I guarantee you, he's shot that particular bank shot more than 60% of the room, maybe more, maybe 70% of the room, just because of the amount of time that he's been around pool, how many games he's been involved in. I mean, that's hey, that's my old pal reverse bank when I'm giving weight and got to go table length in a tight pocket. That's my old pal. You don't know him, Mike? Yeah. You don't remember him from back in the day?
I need to be friends with that guy.
Yeah, you got to meet him.
Yeah.
But, I'm having a good time. This is a great tournament. Great tournament. I always like it when you have all of the areas coming together, and that's part of my my dreams and goals to make things happen with pool, is just connecting those little bubbles and creating that larger bubble and making it so that we can all have something good to fight for and something to get at. So
right, and then it's pretty impressive how many people like myself from Connecticut are here, and there's a bunch of people from, I think there's a decent crowd from New Hampshire, I believe, here too.
Well, Maine, there's a lot of Maine players.
There's just groups from everywhere. I mean, I know us at Yale Billiards. We have
I want to give some credit.
8 of us here.
I want to give some credit to a few groups real quick, because the Connecticut group in recent times, all of the players from Connecticut have really been supporting pool just in general, coming over to the snookers tournaments, or whether it be one of Mark's tournaments or one of my tournaments, whatever it is. They travel that 2+ hours, whatever it is, a lot more often than players in other areas, and I just that's notable. It's commendable. I think that's awesome, and not for nothing, you guys do pretty well. to say the least. I mean, you got Phil Davis coming out of Yale as well. And he comes over, he just smashes the field and says, "Hey, I'm going to take this money back to Connecticut. Good luck getting it." And
then Lucas, he'll come out and and take one down. But he plays on a lot of them, but he does win his fair share.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rob Pierce used to win a lot more. Now he doesn't play as much, but God, that guy still plays very good.
Yeah. Rob Pierce is definitely one of the top competitors for sure.
And then Tim Levine won your B tournament a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, Tim Levine won the Halloween tournament. That was a good one. I liked that one a lot. But we had 3 out of the top 4 from Connecticut that won that tournament. So there's
really?
4. Yeah, we had the top 4 guys. It was
Mario
came second. So Tim Levine first, Mario Argentino second, and then it was Run Zhu that placed third, who's currently in China. And then we had Anthony Petroselli. So
really?
3 out of the top 4, all guys from your area and representing. But I also wanted to mention to the Maine group of players.
Who's here from Maine?
So I know I'm going to miss some of their names, but I know Steve Smith, Cody Porter, Emily Cady, Cassie Lamb. I know I'm going to forget Justin Grant. I'm going to forget somebody.
Yeah.
I know I'm forgetting people.
There's 120 people here.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. But my brain's a little fried. I'm a little lacking in sleep. But all of those main players, they get a lot of credit too because they will travel to a lot of my tournaments. And I'm talking like it's not even big 5,000, 2,000 added tournaments, whatever it is. They're coming down for a good time and enjoying the game. And, they know what they're getting into. And they come down because that's what they enjoy and they want to be part of the group. And it's funny. It's like there's people that live 4 or 5 hours from here, and I feel like they're just regular, friends of mine. Like, hey, how you doing? Like, and you live 5 hours from here, but I'm comfortable seeing them. I see them. Hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Chad Bazinet, Lindsey Monto. Those are 2 other players from the main area that are down here. They're coming to me as I'm trying to rack my brain.
That's funny. Someone just said it in the chat as you were saying it. You were looking away, and I was reading the chat, and you said,
"Oh wow, there you go."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. And Barrett Ridley, yeah, I remember you mentioning that earlier. I'm looking at the chat now. It's funny. You guys can call me a cheater. That's fine.
Do you have a interesting question here? I know, the way these tournaments are handicapped and everything. It could be anyone's game. Mm-hmm. But do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite pick here today?
In the tournament itself?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this. I believe that Joe Dupuis has the greatest ability in the field, period. I don't care what the race is or who he's playing against. I just think Joe Dupuis has the greatest ability. He's, an extremely talented person in general. And I like Joe Dupuis to just win the tournament. And, he coughs up a ton of weight. And, when he hits those lower bracket guys, definitely. But I'll just say I really, really like Joey in most things that he's allowed to play in. And it's not because I don't like anybody else in the field. It's just strictly because he's got the most talent. And
someone you can count on, too, because at his caliber, you can count on him, running racks consistently.
Right, but even so, it's like this. Ready? So...
And you've seen him win, too. He won the tour finale. That's no joke.
Yeah.
He spotted ridiculous weight the whole the second half of the event.
He just has a very consistent mental game and firepower. And I'll tell you, Joey will be the first to admit it. He don't have a very strong break. His break is just bang, and I hope I get a shot here. And in my personal opinion, if he had a very controlled... I'm going to make a wing ball, and I'm going to get a shot on the one. I think that he would jump significantly into a caliber that, if we're talking Fargo rating-wise, I think he's going to jump from, the low 700s to, the 740, 750 range. And that's a lot to say. But I'll tell you, when that table has balls that have a pocket, nothing really crazy to deal with there, I'm going to tell you, Joe Dupuis getting out, bro. He's just going to get out.
Got another missed 9 ball by Dominick here.
Well, Ben Savoie's going to have to bear down and make this here. This is a really big one.
This cut's no joke, too. Oh, power of the Revo right there. It's a good shot.
Yeah, right. Power of the Revo. I was talking to a player recently. He said that he picked up a Revo for the first time, and he said, "This is a cheat stick. It just goes in." So I said, "Oh, you're going to switch to a Revo?" He said, "Nah, I'm just going to pick one up just for 9 balls." He said, "Every time I get down on the 9 ball, I'm just going to go grab my Revo and pocket it. I'll never miss. I'll never dog the 9 ball." I said, "All right, sounds good."
Yeah, I just got a Revo myself about 4 weeks ago.
And that's what you're playing with now?
Yep. Still trying to get used to it a little bit, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, I've heard pretty consistent comments about the Revo
it
shaft.
just hits good. It just hits good, and it's just preference whether you get the 12.9, the 12.4, and what tip you have on it.
Yeah, the most common thing I've heard is that you can pocket balls like nobody's business. However, trying to move the cue ball and put English on the ball, it's a very, very different way to do that, and it's not very easy to do that. But
you almost
you
have
want to pocket a ball, it's fine.
Yeah,
but
with English with that, you almost have to be more aware of what you're doing, opposed to, because I know it has such low deflection, but the touch and everything with it, and it's the speed it hits harder. So if you have touch shots,
kind of like
spin,
trying to put butter on a bagel with a chainsaw. Something like that.
It's
got so much juice to it.
Right, and then you almost have to.
You really got to hold on to what you're doing. You put a little too much of anything. You just try to stay in the center of the ball for the most part.
And then like any cue, any shaft you play with, it's always a time adjustment period. Once you get
hey,
used to
Steve
it,
Sutton, Sutton Death. He's in the chat. How you doing, sir?
Another thing I like about Ben here is he always seems so calm when he's walking around, when he's playing. Every time I've seen him play, he doesn't get too frustrated. It seems like he always just stays so mellow and just focused. That's why, again, he's so just solid and consistent.
Ben's a really great kid.
Nice guy.
Every conversation I've had with him, I've never walked away and said, I think maybe he's this or that, or it's all smiles, and he's a respectful kid. He's always calm. He's never over aggressive. You never see him yelling in the pool room or anything like that, and I think that definitely carries into his pool game. He's just cool, calm, collected. I'm just going to play some pool. If I win, I win. I lose, but I'm trying my damnedest. He's definitely trying. He doesn't really have that give up stuff.
Right. I'm curious how many more matches I need to win to make it to tomorrow, because I won my first, lost the second. I think it might be four here on the loser side. I might have to win to make it till tomorrow.
Something like that. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter, Mike. When he
tells
you to go play,
when
he tells you to go play, go drill the guy or the girl, and after you do that, you do it again until they say stop the fight.
Right.
That's the way it's supposed to be. You battle to the hill, don't look, just keep rolling.
I almost like going on loser side grinds, because there's actually been 2 tournaments where I came back from the loser side almost all the way back and won 5, 6, 7 in a row. You get into a rhythm. You keep playing on the opposed to when you're on the winner side, you play. Wait a few hours, you play. On your loser side, you just kind of bang them out, and you just can stay in stroke. When you sit, you get a little foggy and cloudy, and then you get tired, and then you got to chug a coffee, then you get all screwed up, so you chug a coffee. But
yeah, remember my mental checklist, Mike. Not too much coffee. You're gonna be racking the balls, and you're gonna ting 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 ting.
I drank a coffee before my match there, and then I don't know. It started hitting me in the middle. Mentally, though, it wasn't like a physical energy. It was like a mental. My mind was thinking too much to the point where it didn't really make complete
overkill,
form.
maybe something like that.
Yeah, there's a couple times where I was shooting where I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what I was thinking about, but it was nothing related into which the shot I was shooting.
Yeah, no, I totally got you.
And then after the shot, I was thinking why didn't I get up? And the answer is I couldn't think.
Yeah.
So because I played right away. I got called first. So I was probably sitting for couple hours there. It's not bad. It's not bad, though. I mean, this tournament's moving along pretty well.
Yeah, I've gotten some pretty strong advice from some of the top players, and by top players, I mean pro players, not B plus A players.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do they do
players.
when they're waiting?
So this is what I've been told by some of the best players, and I don't like to use names and stuff like that, but some of the best players have told me that when you're not playing, do anything but. Do anything but think about the pool and the game and all that stuff. You don't want to be going and hanging out and talking with a bunch of people doing this and that. They basically higher percentage of them, most of them, they say, do anything but that. Let your mind relax and repair and do whatever you got to do. Go sit in your car, go sit somewhere and just, close your eyes for a little bit, something like that. And when it's time to play, you flip the switch. Now it's time to go drill somebody. You go do what you do. Game's over. Stop thinking about it. Don't be so concerned about the bracket and
don't look at the
don't
be
stressing
worry
about
hey,
anything.
If I win this match, I get to play the winner of this or this or the loser
those
of
things
that.
are all mental distractions, and you're just supposed to, when you come to the table, do your job, and when your job is done, you go rest. Wait till your job comes up again, and that's pretty much it.
Is he a little straight here?
Looks like he might have a little angle to go 2 rails out, and there he is. There's that Revo we were talking about.
Yep.
He just put cream cheese, butter, and jelly with a chainsaw on that bagel.
This is kind of awkward here. He's a little over the 9. What is he? He's right here.
We're going to see how he's going to do that.
Yeah, it's a little awkward queuing here, but should be all right. Yep, perfect center pocket.
Very accurate stroke there.
Yep.
You see Ben Savoie down on this one.
This is a big shot.
And there it is.
Yep.
The power of the Revo continues. We're at 3-3.
We got a 5-3 race here.
Oh yeah. And the race definitely favors Ben here, but nobody's ever out it.
Yeah.
When you're playing pool, especially 9-ball, no one's ever counted out of the match. You know what I mean? It's just, it really is anybody's game in 9-ball. I mean, this is called 9-ball, so that definitely helps a bit.
Yeah, where you can't just,
Yeah.
But interesting story. So it changed my outlook on it completely. I was playing in a tournament. I think there was probably about 40 people. It was in Connecticut. It was a different tour. I lost the first round on the winner's side, and I go to the loser's side, and I am down. It's a race to 6, even race to 6. I'm down 5-1. So I need 5. He needs 1. And I kind of mentally gave up, but then I won 2 racks in a row, right? And then I'm like, okay, now we're trying.
I won 2 in a row. Maybe I'll try a little bit.
Yeah, and then I started focusing. And anyways, long story short, I ended up winning that match, and then I went all the way through the winner's side and split in the finals of the tournament. I won another 5 rounds after that. So
so your opponent's on the hill, and you need 5
on the first round
in the first game
on the loser side.
on the loser side.
Yeah, I was on the loser side. Yeah, so I win one more rack or lose one more rack. I'm out of the tournament. Suppose I win 5 in a row and then win 5 or 6 more rounds in a row to split in the finals.
Like, you know what? I'll give it one more go.
That's motivation for anyone that gives up. Think, it's never over, literally until it's over.
Absolutely.
But even myself after that, still, you still, frustrated, you're down. I still even hate to think that. It's like, no, screw it, I don't have a chance. But you always do.
Yeah.
It's easy to say that sitting up here, though, right, Mike?
Absolutely. It's very easy to say that right here. It's like, why the hell did he play it like that? He should have just done this. Okay, buddy, well, I'm going to put you in a match, and when that shot comes up, I'm going to watch you do something else.
Guest referee Kerry McAuliffe here, watching the hit. Let's
see what he's got here.
It was good. Nope. Well,
it
was a good hit, but a foul. Yeah. Wow, that was crazy.
Hit.
It bobbled out of the corner, then spit across to the other one there.
I think I'm going to blame Kerry on that.
Yeah.
It's definitely
due to Kerry's fault.
It's Kerry's presence.
Yeah.
It's definitely why he missed. Got to bust on Kerry a bit.
Yeah.
Great guy. I love having him around.
Kerry took the wheels off that one, if you know what I mean.
Oh, absolutely. It's funny. We had some people mentioning that earlier, and I said it before. I'll say it again. I'm pretty sure Kerry's just tired of hearing all of that. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna give it a rest.
He was a good sport. He was a good sport about it though earlier. But I don't know. It sucks. But when something bad like that happens, everyone's different way to handle things.
Yeah.
But I like to laugh about things in serious situations.
Yeah.
I like to make a joke and laugh about it, whether it's I'm the one that something bad happened to, or it's somebody else. You just gotta.
That's a sign of a sociopath. I don't
Is
know
it really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, I was gonna say.
It might actually be. No.
You gotta look at things. I don't know. At this point, just with everything, I just.
Well, hopefully it's a good year for Kerry.
Yeah. No, I think it can only almost go up from here. You think so? You just gotta look at it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't get much worse than that. But.
No. All right, Ben Savoie looking to take a lead in the match where he is receiving a spot.
If he can get on the 5 ball good here, he's looking really good to get out.
He's gonna draw over there. No,
Playing
wow.
the side.
That's an odd way to play that, but I actually liked it. I mean, he came out bad, but I liked the way that he came at that.
Yeah, that's where I was worried about. Once he got on the 5, it was pretty much a done deal. But now he's quite literally on the 5 and not in a good way. So.
James O'Connell, who is commentating. I am Mike DeMarco, and I am joined by Michael Matthew,
AKA
2.0,
AKA
Brendan Duchovny.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, if all the Mike Matthew fans out there, if you see Mike Matthew in person, please call him Brendan Duchovny and pay homage to me by calling him that.
I would definitely laugh if someone says that to me.
All right, Dominick Souza taking
that was
advantage.
A good stroke right there. Make it the 6, and it's should be out here.
A little low on it.
He's gonna go around.
I think he's
here,
gonna. I think he's gonna actually draw straight back off the rail.
Off the rail, a little bit of spin.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was kind of tough because the ball was high in the side, so he didn't have a way to really create that angle and cheat the pocket a bit. But
I don't think he put too much spin on the cue ball, but
he wants to just get down and fire at it, but he knows he's going to be uncomfortable once he's down.
I feel like those
and
are
you can see him kind of cringing at the stance, not really the shot.
Yeah.
But
those are one of those shots where it's easy to almost overdraw that in a sense. You know, you fire it with a lot of draw.
Oh, yeah.
So I think maybe in his head he's thinking, oh, let me just touch it, you know, spin and kick out the rail and you'll be good. But he just one of those where you just understroke it, trying not to, overstroke it obviously. But
here he goes. He's firing.
Is he going for the bank again? Or
I think he's going right in.
Oh, he's cutting it. Yeah, looks like he's cutting it. Oh, is he gonna get a lucky?
And this is actually going to be option. This is option.
Yep.
And Ben is not going to give that up.
Yeah, you're taking that.
He's going to shoot that right in the side pocket.
Just little angle, but that's he's looking pretty good here, I'd say. Might take the lead here. First time in the set, I believe, right?
Yeah, that would be his first lead of the set for sure.
I've been completely oblivious to everything going around us. I've not heard my name called to play, so
I think you're okay. I think you're okay.
Well, seeing as I'm right here, I feel like someone would have said something.
Yeah.
If not, then...
Hey, out of luck, out of luck. I want to remind everyone we are at Snookers in Providence, Rhode Island. You're watching the Winter Classic. Got some strong payouts right here. Check them out. Not bad, not bad.
Did he release the payouts for the side pot there?
I'm not sure about that. This is all I have currently, but
I know that the side pot must have been huge. I didn't see the exact
like the
numbers,
first couple of people.
Yeah, made it $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000 after a first couple of people.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're going to have some good numbers there.
Yeah.
All right, Ben Savoie ready to break. He is now leading 4-3, and he makes a couple of balls.
Maybe might get a shot here for the 8 ball. Oh.
Now that I don't think it's frozen, but
Just gonna
it's
see a push out here.
pretty close. Yeah, push him
Up
up near the corner.
Push near the corner. Yep.
Yeah.
Leaving that tough angle on the 1, maybe on the rail. Yep.
You know, something I've been pondering lately is when a professional level player, I mean a good professional level player, like I'm talking like a Shane or a Shane Van Boning or a Jason Shaw or somebody like that, when they push out to a guy that can literally do everything they can do and then some, what are they thinking? Like, hey, maybe I'll make this miracle shot? Or are they just saying, hey, I'll take this? I mean, look, he just came with an amazing shot.
I think, well, what the pros do, which is crazy, they push out to jump shots, they push out to kick shots, or they push out to shots where it's just almost impossible if you pocket it to get position on the next ball. But the way they play kicks way different than we do, because you don't really see too often, like around our level, people pushing out to jump shots or kick shots.
Yeah,
because a
you
pro
don't
can kick
see
out
that
to
too much.
push out to a kick shot. And play a good safe. Say opponent gives it back.
Yeah.
You play a good safe and lock them up, or the pro would usually even elect to take it.
But it's like if one guy can do it, I mean, most likely the other guy could do it. Like, what are you really pushing to? Like,
Right.
What are you going to see that he doesn't see? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It seems like there's a lot of questions in there for me, anyways.
Every time I explain a push-out shot to people that are unfamiliar with it, they're just starting to get into competitive pool. I always say you want to put the cue ball somewhere where it's tempting to take, but also not too tempting to take. That's pretty much almost what it could. That's
It's like I kind of want to go with that, but
yeah.
Go ahead, you do it.
You want to make it to the point where
Yeah.
you and your opponent are thinking like, I don't want to take it, but I don't want to not take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's just.
Real quick, I just want to go back to the chat for a second. We have what is this? Paul Lewis, do you ship the cash in this event? I'm not really sure what you mean exactly by that, but this is not a ship the cash event. I do run the ship the cash events. This is not a ship the cash event. I am supporting it. I like what Mark does, and I really try to support pool all around. But if you want to be more particular with that question, I think that's what you mean, if this was a ship to cash event or not, but it is not.
I think Mark's shipping the cash for these great cows.
Mark is going to ship the cash.
Yeah.
But Jason Platt, what's up, Jay? Where is Dominick from, guys? I believe he's originally from Connecticut.
Massachusetts.
And
Is he Massachusetts now?
Now he's New Hampshire.
He's New Hampshire.
Yeah, he's
okay.
in New Hampshire now. But I believe he originally came from Connecticut.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask.
If anybody wants to correct me, if you're in the chat, if you know something I don't, let's hear what you know.
Where's Ben from? Is Ben Rhode Island?
Ben is Massachusetts.
I'm mixing all these states up. They all blend together to me at this point.
Yeah, and something I want to mention about Ben, he is totally fearless as far as playing against higher level players or in higher level tournaments, big money buy-ins, whatever. He would probably, and I want to say this the right way, Ben would go to a more professionally run, high money buy-in tournament with 16 guys versus a 40-player tournament where everybody's running around with their heads cut off and it's handicap heaven. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he wants to play the game properly,
That's a good ball.
and yeah, that was great. But he wants to play the game properly, and that's what I look for in players that I want to support me in particular. I don't want the crazies and the yo-yos and all that stuff. I mean, I want the best and most respectful players, and that's it. I don't care if the field's slightly smaller or not, but I want to get 100% eventually of the good guys and girls and 0% of those bad guys, the movers, the cheaters, and all that stuff. So Ben's definitely in that boat. Shortly, I believe Katie, the Tiny Titan, is going to be giving us an update on who the next match is going to be.
What, on the stream table? Here?
On the stream table, yeah. I liked it earlier, a couple rounds ago. She gave me an option. She said, pick one. I was like, all right. Pick the match with Joe. I want to see Joe Dupuis shoot. So that's how we ended up here. Ben Savoie shooting the 9 to go to the hill. And
Is this the gap? Oh, it is the gap.
this is to get on the hill. I can't tell if it's actually frozen or not.
It looks like there's a little gap there, Mike. A little bit. Ooh, wow.
Wow, just enough. That's that Revo magic we were talking about right there.
The shooter's roll with that.
Oh, yeah. So again, folks, check out the sponsors. These sponsors are making this event possible. At AZ Billiards, Fargo Rate. Not really sure how to pronounce that, but the website in red. We're going to go with that. Billiard Mechanics of America. Professor Q Ball's National Pool and Three Cushion News. D&L Billiards, USAPL, MJS Construction, Burgess Farms, Ship to Cash, and Predator. Those are the guys taking care of business for you.
Oh, we're gonna get a good match here.
What do we got coming up next?
Derek and Sim with Sam.
Derek Cunningham and Sam with Sam.
That's it.
Right,
I think that's
fantastic.
a good game. What the 6-7 race? So Sam given a game.
Oh yeah, he's going to be given a game for sure.
Yeah. I think it is.
Sam was my first match today.
Really?
I didn't get his best game, but I was pretty comfortable at the same time.
Did you take him down?
I did.
Nice. So this is a loser side battle we got going on here.
What was the score there? I think my race was 7-6 or 8-6. I won 6-2.
Really?
But like I said, I know I didn't get Samet's top game for sure. I think he was just trying to get comfortable, and by the time he did, I had such a lead that he couldn't really make it happen at that point. But
yeah,
I respect his game greatly, and he is a fantastic shooter. I was definitely fortunate to come out of that one.
Yeah, Shorty didn't play too well. That's how were you in the box up here during that?
I wasn't. No. I know that he played Brian Chase. I didn't see how it happened.
But the score kind of says it.
Why? What actually happened
there? Tom just couldn't get into in rhythm at all.
He couldn't find the good side of a ball. He's always kicking something like that.
Yeah, he's kicking.
So I'm assuming Brian did pretty well.
Yeah.
Do you know what the final score was by any chance?
I want to say it was 6-2.
6-2.
Wow. I believe it was a 9-6 race. I want to say, and I believe the final score ended up being 6-2, or actually perhaps even 6-1.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty significant.
I believe it was 5-0 at one point.
In all fairness, though, I gotta say, Tommy D. Shorty. I mean, he's an incredible player, and he's in this tournament, he's got the highest rating. It's very well established and things like that. But I'll tell you, he hasn't played pool in a while.
Yeah, that's what
he hasn't really played pool much. I mean, he's come the last couple of weeks, Wednesday night action at Snookers, and you can see him week after week, like he gets a ball better every week. And it used to be like he was 4 balls better than the guys, that he's playing against. But now he's doing what most players need to do when they take time off. He's got to remember things and find his stroke and find his rack, find his break, and he'll be able to come through with that game that we all know he's capable of. I mean, just a few years back, he came 4th place at Turning Stone. I mean,
really?
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to say there? I mean, the top 4 at Turning Stone was Shorty, Mike DeShane, Shane Van Boning, and Jason Shaw.
Really?
You put him in a group like that, it's like, oh yeah, this guy can't play. He don't know how to play pool. But think about that.
Wow.
And that tells you something, though. He moved across the country. He went to Vegas, spent some time out there. He's working, whatnot. And then, he just recently came back over here.
This game is pretty tough when you're not consistently playing. I mean, once you get to a certain caliber, you always have it, but to be able to stay consistent coming in tournament and grind out all day, you're just not going to be the same if you're not hitting balls.
Yeah.
What I try to do, I mean, I try, at least 3-4 times a week, hit a ball for 30 minutes to an hour at least. If I don't have too much time or something, at least come down there, play a couple racks. Just try to stay kind of sharp. Not trying to improve. I'm just trying to stay. So if I do go, take a weekend off and come out here, I can try to hang with everyone.
I just want to pay attention to the chat real quick. I want to make sure I'm not neglecting anyone here. Oh yeah, that's right. Top 10 U.S. Open. Also, Jason Platt reminded me of that. Absolutely. That's Shorty. Mike, how do you choose who plays on the live table?
I believe that's tournament.
Deb? Is that just Deb? Or I know sometimes Deb. She's. I'm going to call you Miss Petrozelli. Call you Miss Petrozelli. Right. I don't usually get to choose.
Yeah, I believe that.
But I had one opportunity to choose a match earlier. Katie just basically comes and tells me who's coming up next, and we put it up.
I know the way that they're doing all the matches in general. They have a really cool system going on as far as like the rotation with how everything's going. They have this kind of, they know who's going to play and what table, hours from now, because they have, or at least the winner of this match or loser of this match is going to play here, and then they have everything kind of try to make the brackets, move as quickly as possible.
I actually have a rule question here, and I don't even know if Mark had even considered this, but I just have a rule question. So I noticed when Dominick went to break there, he had the cue ball behind the head string, but the base of the ball was behind the head string, not the entire ball. Like the facing of the ball might have, went past it a bit, and I've always heard mixed feelings on where behind the line is. Is it the base of the ball, like it's touching the table behind the line, but the front of the ball is over it? You know what I mean? It's got the curve to it, and it's not.
It's half. So if it's more favored, in front of the line,
that would be the base of the ball then, right?
Oh,
so,
right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So right down the center of the ball, right where it's contacting the table.
So you can have
you can have the edge of it over the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I believe.
But I've always heard like mixed feelings on it. They're like, no, the whole ball has to be behind the head string.
I don't think that's correct.
Yeah.
But I mean, then again, it also depends what you're playing, where you're playing, what tournament, maybe even what side of the country or what country you're in. I'm sure everyone has their own. Those are one of those rules that it's kind of just a big gray area in a way,
Yeah. I gotta. That brings up another interesting topic here. So, I've been wondering. This has been the case for quite a while now, but there's a ton of different rules for pool.
Yeah.
Tons.
Yep.
Like, you have to ask and be particular every time you play in a tournament, and if you don't, you're probably going to break a rule.
What is here when I was playing the first match I played, I moved a ball after my shot as the cue ball is still traveling. It's all ball fouls now. A lot of amateur tournaments per se aren't necessarily all ball fouls, but Mark made it, which I agree with. You should be able to move the balls around after you shoot, which is fair. As the cue ball's traveling, you can't move anything because that can lead to a whole mess of things. And the cue ball comes back and would have hit it. So I agree with that being a foul, which I committed early on today.
I mean, I want to say that a lot of the players in the pool world, pro, amateur, doesn't matter. A lot of them say, hey, we should have standardized rules. I like that idea. However, there are some instances where certain rules actually go against that type of idea. Where, like, just for example, say
like rack your own alternate break, stuff like that.
Like
specific tournaments.
Our Wednesday night action here. So when we do that tournament, it's only race to 3 for every player. Okay, if I made that rack your own winner break versus rack your own alternate break, there's going to be matches where a player literally will not shoot. Period.
Right.
They won't even shoot a shot.
Right, but you also want to play in a sense where people have a chance to run some racks together.
Right.
But
So if it's a longer race tournament where, hey, we're going to be racing a 7 or we're racing a 9, sure, rack your own winner breaks. They're not going to run a 7 or a 9 pack on you. But, high-level players, they might break and run the first rack. If it's winner break, they're going to rack, break, make a ball, play safe. You kick, they run out, and then break and run out.
Yep.
It's like that's not what I'm trying to promote on Wednesdays here. I want everyone to know that all of the players at all levels can definitely get to the table and have an opportunity to compete with some of the best players in the area. And it shows. I mean, we get players from about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours in either direction on a pretty consistent basis. But it's, if you're trying to get good and you're in this area, you come down on Wednesday, you play with the big boys.
I haven't been here on a Wednesday yet.
You haven't been here?
Nope, I have not. I work Thursdays.
I guess that means you're not trying to compete.
Well, what I messaged you the other day, and I said I want to do that $1,000 challenge match on the stream. So we got to find me an opponent. Any takers? Another interesting thing, which making like rules, like one set of rules for everywhere, is that if you were to do a poll for all those little things, alternate break, winner break, rack your own, not rack your own, call 9, not call 9, it's going to be too split. I feel like none of those are going to be 80-20, 90-10, 70-30. I feel like most of them are going to be 40-50 and some change. It's going to be almost half, to the point where you're never going to satisfy what everyone wants. That's why with the difference in tours and everything, different rules, you get a little bit of everything, which makes it okay.
Yeah, I feel like there should be almost like a palette to select from, and it shouldn't be like, oh, well, this one's got like, this percentage of gray here, and this one's pitch black, this one's white, this one looks like the sun, they're so vastly different.
Things, so you need to make sure.
Yeah,
but Mark
it should be like,
does a good thing, though, at the beginning of every one of his tournaments, he goes over all the rules.
Yeah.
Even though all of us here have played in God knows how many of them, but he still goes over them, because there could be that one person or the one person that doesn't forget. So he goes over them every time, which is good. So the most important things, like not conceding, can't concede a rack or that costs you two.
And I want to touch on something. I don't want to talk too much about my stuff just because this is Mark's thing, but I do want to mention that I prefer, as far as rules go, to almost make them the same as I do like formats and things like that, where it's progressive, where when that thing comes up and that situation comes up and you're like, hey, this is bad, I don't want to have that issue again or whatever that negative thing was for my tournament. So I'll talk to a ton of players, all skill levels, all areas, and try to, get a common consensus and say, hey, how do we attack that issue? How do we get rid of that problem with pool? And I will amend the rules, pretty regularly, but it's not where I'm changing rules where like, oh, now it's called 9, now it's not called 9, and things like that. It's more like the respect and the mannerisms at the table and things like that, where, I didn't think to mention those things, and I focus more on those than the actual play of the game, because to be honest, if you took out all of the negatives of pool as far as like, the people pulling moves and trying to distract you while you're playing, all that stuff, I mean, you really don't care what the rules are of the tournament. You know? As long as you can relax and play the game in a comfortable, enjoyable environment. I mean, do you really care what the rules are if it's called 9, not called 9, rack your own, opponent racks? I mean, like, there's things to be said about all of those things. As long as you feel it's fair.
It's the most important thing. But for me, call 9 and not call 9, so that's more one of the more important rule differences opposed to rack your own, not rack your own.
Yeah.
I think call 9 or not call 9, that makes a bigger difference.
Yeah.
And then Mark also only allows full queue jumps, so that pretty much eliminates most jump shots out of the equation as well. So there's a lot of different rules with Mark's, but I mean, my preference is call 9, rack your own. As far as like the two major things go, and that's what this tournament is. So I do prefer that.
Are you a Sammy Hagar fan by any chance?
Is it bad that I don't know who that is?
I'm not going to say it's bad, but it's actually probably good because that means you're younger than most people.
Yeah. But, okay. If it's one of those things where the fact that I'm like 12 years old comes into effect here, then yeah.
No.
Okay.
But we're driving 55 right now.
See that?
Dominick still needs 3 games, and Ben
is
on the hill.
Again, one of those things that could still go either way. Can't eliminate anyone at this point. Well, especially Ben, obviously. Can't. Because I mean, if you think about it, the couple 9 balls that Dominick gave away, or the 1 8 ball and the 1 9 ball, this game is kind of flipped the other way around. So
I'm checking in the chat here. During our conversation, we were watching the game here, guys. I'm sorry I did not see what you're saying there. Pool should follow golf's lead. It's time to reduce the rules, not add them. Okay, I mean, there's a lot to say about that comment. I mean, just in a black and white way of responding to that particular thing, reduce the rules. It's like this. If you reduce the rules, you open the door for all kinds of stuff to happen. Arguments,
everything.
Disagreements, things like that, questions, confusion, all that stuff. And I feel like, and again, I'm trying not to talk too much about my stuff, but what I'm trying to do is just build a set of rules that gets us to a point where that that's what you're getting into, and that that's how you have to act. And if you can't act that way and have the game happen in that way, don't come. And that's kind of it. I don't like leaving things up in the air, like, oh yeah, if you want to do that, you can do it. If you don't want to do that, don't do it, or whatever. Like, I don't like doing those things. So I'm trying to build the very firm, these are the rules. Maybe the format changes, but as far as respect and what you do while you're in a match, those types of things, I feel like that should be built in a way where once you get to a point, you're like, hey, that's pretty good. It covers all your angles and, cover everything there. And you don't want to just assume that everyone's going to act properly, because you can't assume that. Right. Some people don't know any better. They think they're just being friendly, and it might be annoying to you. And you can't just assume that everybody's going to think that that's okay. Somebody might think you're being rude, and you might think you're being friendly and just trying to make a joke or something. Or one particular example of that is when someone says, hey, nice shot, in the middle of a game. middle of a rack. They go, nice shot. You just broke their concentration. Now, some people might say, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I do the
some people
quiet,
might
I do the
think,
quiet thing and say it after the rack because, or nice out, nice run out,
Yeah.
nice shot because you
there-
can't go wrong with not saying anything.
Yes, exactly. That's my point. That's not a gray area. That's an area where it's black and white. Hi, I did not disrupt the game. I didn't make any type of gesture toward them. I didn't say anything to them. I just let it happen, and then as the rack ended, hey, that was a great shot. And that's actually something we implemented recently, as far as the rules go. Jared, there is no enforcement of those rules. We talked a lot about things. I don't know what particular thing you are,
Yeah.
but I'll get into that if you'd like. If you don't want to go there, give
Jared,
me a call.
Why isn't Jared here? Where are you, Jared?
He's actually going to come tomorrow for the 10-ball tournament.
Okay.
Wanted to mention that to anyone that didn't know. There is a 10-ball tournament open to anyone, amateur level 685 Fargo rating or below, must be established. $75 if you did not play in this main event, the Winter Classic main event. If you did play in it, it's just $55. That's even races. I believe it's 7 and 5, double elimination. So
I was I was gonna play in it, but just because he did say if you're playing in both, you can they'll work around it. But if I am in both, I just want to focus on the big one and
I'll tell you what,
not
if
do both. And I also am a fan. Now, people may say something, but I am a fan of getting spotted.
You're a fan of getting spotted?
Oh, yeah, particularly. I mean, say that, the game where I just got spotted 2 games by Rob Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, tomorrow, if I played in the 10-ball, I play him even.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I don't even think 2 games is it's quite where I want to be, the whole even thing is definitely not where. But it is for
differing
fun,
opinions.
and there is, there absolutely. But I feel like, obviously, the better you are, the less handicapping that you like, and I'm in middle. I'm a B player, so it's just
there's good things to say about playing even and playing with a spot. And I honestly don't even want to go down that hallway in this position right now. I have a lot of strong views on things, and I'm just gonna stay away from that stuff.
Right.
But there's positives to both ways of playing, and to be honest, me personally as a player, I'll play in anything. I don't care what the format is.
If it makes you feel any better, if I get eliminated tonight and there's still spots open in the 10 ball, because I heard it's filling up pretty quick, so anyone that hasn't registered yet, I try to message Mark or see if there's still a spot if you can make it down tomorrow. But
definitely.
if I do get eliminated here tonight and there is a spot left, I will play in it tomorrow. But I just don't want to register
You should
now.
buy a couple of spots, Mike. Forget it.
And I can sell them tomorrow for a premium, right?
Well, no, I was just going to say buy a couple of spots. This way, if you have a rough first match, you just play again anyhow.
Yeah, I'll go under Brendan Duchovny for the
Brendan Duchovny gets the second round bye. Maybe you'll draw yourself.
I was just gonna say, with my luck, I will be drawing myself and then play whoever the highest rated Fargo player is the second round. So
Ricky Sleeper, play even or don't play.
He's a sleeper, isn't he? This guy, he's a
Ricky Sleeper, very strong player. I know you're taking a break from some of the game. I know you were taking a break a little bit. Hopefully you'll be back in the pool room soon. And I can back up Ricky's statement there as far as playing even. I remember him coming into snooker's first time I seen him, and he looks over to Joe Dupuis on table 7, and he's like, "Hey, you want to play some?" Joey's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" And the kid's like, "To play pool." He didn't want any spot, so he played him a couple races, even up.
That's respectable.
That's very respectable. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when you play someone that good and you just want to play. That's a good game. You hear that in a game that just got announced there? Mario Argentino and Tim Levine.
Oh man,
that's a good match right there.
I wish that was coming on the stream.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that would
have been fantastic to watch.
That would be. That's a very even game. Me, Mario, Tim, and Nick Bousquet, all Connecticut, and I believe we're all 575. It's exactly. We all have the same Fargo rating.
That's pretty funny.
So that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
I wish that was over here. It's not even in this room, is it? Nope. But
yeah, that is going to be good. Now, in the finals of the Halloween tournament here, the one I put on, Mario lost to Tim.
Really?
So this is Mario's opportunity to get some payback.
Yep.
So I'm going to see what happens here.
Yeah, Mario actually practices with Jason Shaw over at US 1 Billiards in West Haven, Connecticut. So they, from what Mario was telling me, Mario plays one pocket with him at 9-ball. Yes, because Mario likes playing one pocket, and then I think they play cheap sets just to get Mario in shape and stuff, and keep Jason in stroke. So it's
You're
cool.
gonna get a Charlie horse for trying to kill his action, but no, that's definitely notable.
Yeah. No, he's a 575. I think is about right.
Yeah,
for he's not stealing. I think that's one of those where it's right, where it's about right there.
Yeah.
But no, he plays with them because Jason Shaw's a nice guy, and I watched them play a couple of times. They're playing 9-ball sets, and it's fun to watch. Jason Shaw has a diamond table that he keeps covered when he's not there. When he gets there, he plays on it. It's pretty cool, actually. Nice table.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the players' auction.
What is there?
We're gonna hear the players' auction. 8 spots. 2,700 first place. 1,800 second. 1,100 third. 900 fourth. 500 each fifth, sixth. 250 each in seventh, eighth.
That is
pretty
a
strong
Calcutta, dude.
Oh yeah, that's great.
2,700 for first. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, that's
that
great.
is 1,100 more than the prize for first in the tournament.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
That is really good.
I always said we should just have $20 tournaments and have a Calcutta. Come on, now everybody can bump it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, right.
25 bucks for all players. Let's have a Calcutta.
I think Keith put in that prize fund for first place there.
All right. Ben Savoie looking to close it out here.
This was a long rack here, huh?
Yeah, they've been battling a little bit, but I'll tell you, Ben's done just what we called. He stayed cool, calm, collected. Nothing really funny.
Yep, there it is.
And there it is.
Ben Savoie takes
Ben
it down.
Savoie winning 6 games to 5.
All right, I'm gonna go grab a bite. If there happens to be a Connecticut player or Yale Billiards player coming on.